Rewind 93.9 WYEC, mid-morning in the cities. I'm Sean Patrick. It's Friday. That means we're talking about new movies with our friend Linda Cook, Quad City Times film critic. Linda, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
It is a particularly good morning because we saw one of the best movies of the year last night.
And I don't know if you were as surprised as I was and thrilled to see such a movie. I just love this film, and my face still hurts from laughing.
Of course, I'm talking about Keanu, which I'm sure will shock a lot of people because it's a movie about a kitten.
Well, and I'm sitting here actually writing this review right now, and what I'm mentioning is that it's like Departed in an episode of Lassie. That, you know, it's like a really solid crime thriller with an animal that's beloved and a problem solver.
Completely adorable, this kitten, Keanu. And, of course, the object of both Key and Peele, who were the stars of this film, Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, two brilliant guys from their own Comedy Central series, making a seamless debut in the movies.
Well, usually, I guess, when I see somebody who has a really solid TV career, I think, we'll give them a little bit of a break. This movie might be uneven or jagged or maybe a little lackluster, as you say, as they make that transition from the little screen to the big screen. There's none of that.
Nope. No, these guys are tremendously funny, Key and Peele.
And their script is witty. I love the way it was directed. The direction was just spot on. Every moment enhanced the laughter, the way it was done. And here you have two guys, regular walking around guys, who, I won't go into the details of the plot, but because they want this kitten back, they end up pretending to be these drug lords.
We're talking with Quad City Times film critic Linda Cook today on Mid-Morning in the Cities, and we'll continue this conversation after this Mid-Morning in the Cities presented by Curves Davenport on Rewind 93.9. Rewind 93.9 WYEC, Mid-Morning in the Cities. I'm Sean Patrick. And yes, Linda Cook and I are both sitting here telling you that Keanu is one of the best movies of the year. This movie about gang members and kittens and drugs, it's really violent, really R-rated, but it is so funny, it doesn't matter. The
tone of it reminded me of another really good movie that was slightly overlooked last year, and that's The Night Before. That was sort of a drug comedy. And I thought it was really clever. This is even better than that. It is not for people, of course, who are easily offended or used to PG-13 type comedy. This is for grown-ups only.
No doubt about it, and especially it's for fans of these two guys. What was your exposure to Key and Peele prior to this?
Honestly, I know them because of YouTube. And I think it might be you who said, you should see a couple of these skits that they've done on YouTube. And I've never seen the Comedy Central show, but I really, really like. And a friend of mine from college, too, talked about them about a year ago when I saw him. So I've seen them in little bits and pieces, but never anything like this. And what's amazing is that the show never lags. The tone remains the same. And there's a mystery to it. There are a lot of surprises along the way. It's never, ever not smart.
Quad City Times film critic Linda Cook joining us for this Mid-Morning at the Movies edition. We'll continue this conversation and wrap things up next, talking about the new Gary Marshall comedy, Mother's Day. You're listening to Mid-Morning in the City, presented by Curves Davenport on Rewind 93.9. Rewind 93.9 WYEC, Mid-Morning in the Cities. I'm Sean Patrick. We've told you that Keanu is one of the best movies of the year, not just one of the best comedies, but one of the best movies of the year. And now we're on to one that I'm going to see this weekend and have a review later this weekend. But Linda, you've seen Gary Marshall's new film, Mother's Day, and it's not good.
Sean, you and I have both in the past, and both our moms, lost our moms by this time in our lives, but in the past we've both perused the aisle, right, to look for a Mother's Day card.
Mm-hmm.
You've done that. I've done that. That is 100 times more fun than watching this movie. Because at least in the card aisle, you'll read witty, touching sentiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is none of that in Gary Marshall's film. This is like a copy of one of his other films, all of which are equally lackluster. It took 4 people to write this pandering screenplay. And as soon as the characters are set up, you know exactly what's going to happen. No one could save this movie. No, I mean, you could have, like, Sir Laurence Olivier in this film, and he could not save this movie. This is aimed toward people, I guess, who like the other terrible movies Gary Marshall has created lately, including Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve, which I took personally because that's my birthday, and I thought, how dare you ruin my birthday with this film. It has the divorced mom, and it has the widowed dad, and the sisters who are keeping secrets about their spouses from their parents, and the bigoted parents, it's just a mess. It's just terrible. And, you know, the syrupy Hallmark-type movie, this is a lot worse than that. And I just take a cruise through the card aisle. You have more fun. Really.
This movie has Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston, and Kate Hudson, and Jason Sudeikis.
Right. But you can almost see Jason Sudeikis cringing in a couple of scenes. He's forced to wear pink pants and do a rap song at a party. You know, one of the speaking of the word hallmark, a hallmark of a bad movie, and you and I have both talked about this, is, as Ebert pointed out so many years ago, is a festival theme, right? A bad movie tries to make itself look good with a lot of color and motion. It's almost a smoke and mirrors device that makes you look away from the terrible script. And this has more than one carnival scene. So there you are. Count the carnival scenes, know how bad the movie is.
So, I mean, this is one of the worst movies of the year, correct?
It is. It is. And I'm glad I saw this one before I saw Keanu, because I realized how absolutely witty and brilliant it is compared to so much of what we see.
So
this isn't the only bad movie that's been released this year, incidentally, but it's just, in comparison, it's even worse.
So everybody needs to go see Keanu and skip Mother's Day. Of course, stay tuned to Quad City Daily News and Rewind 93.9 for my review of Mother's Day later on this weekend. But Linda Cook, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Sean.